Today, millions of children are facing the worst hunger crisis that the world has seen in decades. 45 million people are close to starvation right now, facing famine, with children and women hit the hardest. 26 million children under 5 are suffering from wasting, which is the most visible and life-threatening form of malnutrition. Unless action is taken now, more life will be lost, and the devastating effect on the life of children, especially girls, today will be felt for decades to come. What causes food insecurity? The reasons of hunger and food insecurity are many and vary from country to country, but generally it is a result of conflict, poverty, economic shocks such as hyperinflation and rising commodity prices, and environmental shocks such as flooding or drought. The conflict in Ukraine has sent global food prices skyrocketing. A third of the world's wheat supplies come from Ukraine or Russia. Ukraine also supplies the world with sunflower oil, barley, maize, and fertilizers. But ongoing conflict means that fields won't be prepared, crops won't be planted, and fertilizers won't be available. COVID-19 also caused a sharp rise in poverty and inequality globally as lockdowns devastated family livelihoods. In many countries, pandemic restriction also mean disruption to food supplies, slowing remittance from family overseas, and the halting for school meal programs. Steep rises in food price are also creating immense strain on household budget, with the poorest families hardest hit. According to the UN, 9,028 million people are severely food insecure already in 2020. The conflict is the biggest cause of hunger globally and is responsible for 65% of the world facing acute food insecurity, from Mali to Syria to Mozambique. Protracted fighting destroy livelihoods and force families to flee their homes, leaving countless children, including girls, facing hunger. It also makes it extremely difficult and dangerous for humanitarian organizations to reach communities in need. It is estimated that over 40 million people in the Central Sahel countries of Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger are in need of urgent humanitarian assistance. Climate change has contributed to food insecurity by changing weather patterns such as rainfall, increased climatic shocks such as cyclones, floods, and droughts, which all have an impact on harvests. Climate change has also increased the prevalence of crop pests such as locusts, which damage and destroy harvests. The economic stability, inflation, and economic shocks has impacted access to food for many people. Even if food is available, for many people it is too expensive to buy, reducing people's access to food. Linked to the pandemic, many people have lost their livelihoods and income again, reducing families' ability to purchase food.
A very good morning to everyone. My name is Praveen Mursami, and our topic for today is food shortage. And I'm here to explain about the causes of food shortage. A leading global health figure has warned the next worldwide health crisis could come in the form of food shortages as the price of basic supplies skyrockets in the even the wealthiest of nations. Australia is already beginning to see early signs of food stress as lettuce prices hit an incredible $12 per head in some areas following the flood season. Natural disaster coupled with inflation and complications in global trade industry could produce a perfect storm as globe begins to find its feet. The reason for hunger and food insecurity are many and vary from country to country, but generally it is result of conflict, poverty, economic shocks such as hyperinflation and rising commodity prices and environmental shocks such as flooding and drought. From labor issues to inflation to closures, lots of factors have come into play that have led to food shortages and empty shelves of the other essentials, and the prices are going up too. The disruption caused by the war in Ukraine has added to prices with costs likely to remain high for the foreseeable future and expected to push millions of additional people into acute food insecurity. In this episode of Development Podcast, World Bank Food and Agriculture Global Practice Manager Julian Limpet explains the challenges and discusses more of the solutions. And we hear from a pizza restaurant owner in Cairo who is struggling with the rising cost of bread.
Thanks Praveen and Irel. Hello guys, my name is Muhammad Izzat Rahman. I'm taking SSK course. Now I'm going to talk about the same topic like which is food shortage. The main point I'm going to talk is how to overcome the food shortage. Now in the era of globalization, increasing local food production requires a basket of solutions such as increasing research and development in agriculture, adopting precision agriculture with better pesticides and fertilizer management, and drone technology for better for it will help us to adapt, and adopting climate like rain or sunny day like that, smart agriculture with higher yield crops that use less water, because nowadays the water is so important in our life. We have to save water as much as can. People waiting food hungry. Food insecurity has been defined as a lack of consistent access to enough food for an active and healthy life. Yes, of course, food is a main role in our life. In morning we have to eat like good breakfast to start our day. In other words, there are millions of people all over the world who suffer from a shortage of food, especially in the COVID time. Too much of people affected, like they can't afford a bread to eat and feed their son, and cannot tell if they will be able to feed themselves the next day or at the end of the day. This is the basis of defining food insecurity. In 2018, for example, it was reported that 1 in 9 Americans suffered from food insecurity. Like in 2019, December also, a lot of people affected from food insecurities. The main reason is COVID. As all you know, the COVID is affected us so much. We can't even go outside to buy foods. And some people who have to go work every day to feed themselves also cannot buy food for their sons, for their family. This is equivalent to 37 million people, more than 11 million of whom are children. Hunger and food insecurity are closely related, and it is possible to say that diseases like anything can happen, like if you don't eat for a day, like stomach pain like that. Although not all people living below the poverty line experience food insecurity, because those living above the poverty line could also experience food insecurity. That's it from me. Thank you.